10% is a lot different than 6%.
Yeah.
Have a bat in your hand.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like this.
This is inspiring. Essentially the best boondocking spot
Ever.
on the planet.
Yeah.
This old girl's at the age where
This old girl. He's
don't
talking
want
about
to
the truck,
abuse her.
not me.
This is one of my favorite parts about cross-country travel. See that mountain range up ahead of us? That's the Bighorn Mountains, and that's one of our very first mountain passes. Actually, it is our first mountain pass. Gorgeous. This is what's kind of cool about it. Like back in the day, that would be like a month-long journey, and we're going to be on the other side of it in like an hour and a half. The house. That's so crazy. I know. I'm easily amused. We're on 90 right now, but we'll be jumping onto 16. That's the pass that we're going to go over. And it starts in Buffalo, ends in Tensley. Alright, so I know I've mentioned it before, and I'll probably mention it again. If you're ever going down a grade and you're trailering and you have to hit your brakes hard and you heat those brakes up on your truck, or maybe you just take a hard stop anywhere in your car, those brakes get hot. So if you do a panic stop, don't just stop. Once you do come to a stop and everything's fine, just inch forward every few seconds so that your brake pads don't sit on the rotor. If you put those pads and pinch them onto the same spot of your rotor, it's gonna warp it. So if you've ever been in a car and you hit the brakes, it's like probably something like that happened and you had to brake hard, or that person had to brake hard and they just didn't think to keep rolling. Same kind of goes for your engine. If your engine is super hot, you went up a pass or something, I'm gonna cool the engine down by just turning it off. Well, that's actually counterproductive. Just let it run for just a couple minutes, let that oil kind of keep cycling through. The fan's probably gonna keep running. So just for a couple minutes, don't just shut it right down.
Those are your brake and your engine tips by Corey today.
It's just something to think about because it's so annoying when your
Rotors are warped.
It's
That's
just
frustrating.
not. And when you're coming down hills and you've got traffic behind you, I mean, to an extent, if you can go 35 miles an hour, keeping second gear or third gear, if you don't have an exhaust brake, safety first.
Yeah.
You know, people can wait an extra minute to get down a path. And if there's trucks behind you, they're going to want to go that slow anyways.
Right.
Like I said before, it's just crazy. We are now on the other side of that mountain range that we saw so far off in the distance. We brought our house over. It's just,
It's really cool.
it's really cool. And we're at one of our favorite places
in the world. This is just a quick stop this time. Sometimes we're here for a long time at the ranch, but other times it's just quick because of our schedule, and we are headed to Idaho and possibly Washington. We're not sure where the road is going to take us, but the goal is, and one of our big dots, like we mentioned, is the Lippert Getaway in September. So that's coming up really quickly.
Which, when you're watching this, it's probably past September.
Possibly.
So sorry about that, but we gotta, to keep the content the way we want it and to be able to have the downtime so we can keep producing content like this, we have to get behind a little bit.
Exactly.
So this kind of concludes our, I don't know, 2 campgrounds in a row that had like iconic views.
Amazing.
Devil's Tower, Mount Rushmore. We were really spoiled the last week.
Definitely. Go to places where you can be there at night, at these like special cool places. I don't know what it is. It's just so neat.
If you're someplace that's just around the corner, you're more apt to go explore that place.
Very true.
At night, or for sunset, or for sunrise.
Or both.
It stinks sometimes. You got to pay a little bit more to be close to the cool things. It's worth it.
But it's doable. We were calculating, we did 20 hours at Devil's Tower, and it was a really great experience.
It's so much fun.
I have missed this moment time and time again. I waited for a signal when I should have moved instead. Don't wanna waste another minute, 'cause a minute's enough to change. I hear the sound of a heartbeat begging for heaven to come my way, yeah. So get up and come alive. You just can't wait here forever. So get up and come alive.
So we made it here to the ranch. This is a cattle ranch in Wyoming that is owned by family friends of ours, and this is actually the 6th summer that we have come and helped out at the ranch, and it's become what we like to call one of our anchor points. So many of you guys have been writing to us telling us that you've recently hit the road or you're planning on hitting the road in the next year or so, and if that's you, we want to hear your story, we want to hear about your plans, so leave that in the comments below. It is one of our hopes and goals to be able to support you guys as you take off and find your someday. One of the things that we realized when we hit the road is that even when you're living in an RV full-time and traveling full-time, you still feel that need for community, that need to invest in another place, and the need to connect with other people. That's why we started looking for volunteer opportunities as soon as we hit the road. And it's how we found places like here at the ranch and the Everglades Outpost. And it's ultimately what led to the creation of Serve with Purpose with our friends Pause for Love and Lippert. If you have hit the road full-time or you're planning to in the near future, be thinking ahead about what those anchor points might be for you. Places that you go back to year after year and can kind of become road traditions so that you feel grounded, you feel connected, and for us that has led to a deeper sense of adventure and enjoyment as we leave and travel and go visit new places. Because our time is short this year, we were only here for about a week, we've just been helping out around the property. Corey and Lily are actually out right now trimming some tree branches over one of the bridges that goes out to the hayfields.
These trees right here, you can see all the big ones. They used to overhang all the way over here, but now look at this. So you can only drive on this half of the bridge. And then we pried up some of these, put some new ones down, patched up some, screwed it down tight. Now you can see the brook. You couldn't see the brook before. That's crazy. Oh, I almost dropped the phone.
The girls and I stacked some hay bales yesterday for the horses and the milking cows for winter, which was an absolutely insane workout. And one of our favorite parts about coming to the ranch is being able to have huge dinners with everybody. You guys know it's one of Corey's love languages to be able to feed people. And so this year was pretty special. When we were in Maine, Corey and Lily shucked a bunch of lobster and we froze it immediately so that we could share that with friends. So last night we had an awesome dinner of some Maine lobster rolls and some pulled pork. And you never know what's gonna happen at the ranch. Lily even caught a bat last night.
Do not catch it, it's gonna bite you.
Is it so cute?
Lily, do you have a phone? Lily, take my phone.
Get that thing. Hold it.
It's gonna attack my hair.
Is it face down?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's so cute. Do you want me to take a picture?
No, hold it.
I
Just
can't.
cup it in your hand. It won't bite you.
Dad, no.
No, just like scoop it up.
Is it really?
Just pet a bat. Now hold it. Let it hold it up in your hand.
Oh my No freaking way.
You. Yes. You have a bat in your hand. Lily has caught a bat.
We're gonna go free.
Let me see it.
It's all sweaty.
Oh my gosh.
So sorry.
I'm not even looking at it.
I'm not hurting it, trust me.
Okay, wait.
Okay, Dad's gonna ling now, so I'm gonna take a photo of it. Now it's trying to attack me.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Lily's face. It's pooping on you?
'Cause you're the ground beneath it all, and you make anywhere feel like home. Home isn't where we live, it's living by your side. Oh, and I can't imagine any other way. The way our world needs your touch. Your touch in every space, and how it makes any place feel like home.
All right, so we left you last. We just left the ranch, and I'm gonna be honest, we've passed this sign so many times, the Continental Divide. I don't think I knew exactly what it meant.
We did a little research.
Maybe I should have. I don't know if I thought it was like a fault line or something. It's when the water starts to flow to the west or to the east.
Right, so you're
And
either...
it's all the way up and down the country, all the way up through Canada. So that's simply what it means. So whenever you pass
pretty
these,
cool.
just know you're
in the middle of the country where water's either going to go to the Pacific or it's going to go to the
a
Atlantic.
stream is starting here and gonna end up somewhere in the ocean, which is crazy.
Considering how far we are west, the fact that water on one side of this right here is going to end up in the Atlantic is pretty crazy.
It is pretty crazy. So we are on the Tagoti Pass. On the other side of this range is the Tetons. So we're about to go to the Tetons. It's one of our favorite views. This whole entire drive after the Bighorns, leaving the ranch, going through the Wind River Canyon. It's just so much fun. We've done it several different times, several different directions, and it's amazing every single time. This is one of those drives. So we're gonna confuse you in the next few episodes because we're kind of gonna be looping around. So right now we're going to the Tetons, through the Tetons.
We're kind of like looping Idaho. We're going to be coming back into Wyoming. And the purpose for that is because we are going to be ending up at the Lippert Getaway, but we want to go and see a bunch of Idaho beforehand. And we want to go see some friends that are all the way up in Coeur d'Alene. So we're going to go explore a little bit of Idaho that we haven't seen before, catch some friends in Coeur d'Alene, and then we're all gonna come back down, visit the Tetons for a little bit before we get to the getaway. So I'm telling you, it's gonna be like this for a little bit.
That's what we're doing right now.
But like he just said, a lot of this we have done before, and people ask us a lot, like, haven't you seen everything? First of all, we have not come close to seeing everything. Second of all, even when you see something like this that you've seen already between Idaho and Wyoming and Montana, that's why we love coming west. It is spectacular every single time, and then we try to find places we haven't seen in that area before, and that's what we're gonna go do in this little loop that we're doing.
And for instance, we've driven by here before, once going this way, once going that way, and both times it was bad weather.
Yeah.
So
now we get to actually see it and enjoy it.
Now we're actually stopping. So I've always wondered, like, how did they map all these routes? Someone mapped all these routes across these mountain ranges, and this particular one, which is probably the same story for most of them, were guided by the Native Americans. So they've been traveling this country far longer than us, so we use their advice on what are the best ways to get across these mountain ranges, exploring the West. I feel like I'm exploring.
Honey. You would have been really good at that.
I don't know.
He would have been mapping topographical ranges and figuring out where the passes should go. That's like the engineer that's in your brain.
This is great though. So we are about to get some good glimpses of the Tetons.
That's my favorite mountain range.
So we're gonna do one more pass today. We're gonna do the Teton Pass, which is known for how steep it is.
Yeah.
So it's about I think it's 10, maybe 11.
Grade?
This isn't a terrible pass. This one's pretty easy. Highway 26 or 191 or whatever, the thing about it is this is the drive to Jackson, and you have this view of the Tetons for like 30 miles or something. It's just incredible. Even more if you count the pass and us being able to see it coming down the pass.
Oh my gosh.
Just such an unbelievable drive.
It feels similar to the whole like Rushmore view through the tunnels and stuff. All of a sudden you turn a corner and it's like there's the Tetons, and then you take another corner and it's like a reveal again. So it's just revealed over and over and over again.
I love Rushmore, but this beats it by quite a bit.
A lot.
So we're coming back here in a few weeks, so we're just going to enjoy this drive and the views, because we're going to come back here and probably spend a few days, maybe even a week. But right over here is that famous kind of Upper Teton View campground. It's right up there. We are coming back here. I don't know if we're going to try to do that.
We have a couple options. It is the best view.
This is the view you get. It's essentially the best boondocking spot
ever
on the planet.
Yeah.
Maybe not the planet.
I don't know.
It's a pretty good one.
Pretty amazing.
On our very first time, we went up there just for one night.
Yep.
Because when you're in your first year of travel, we were just like, we were everywhere.
And we were hauling to Alaska, so.
Yeah, so we're heading to the other side of the Tetons. I already mentioned that. Nathan and Marissa are in the area, so we hope to hook up with them maybe for a second or two. But either way, we're going to see them at the Lippert Getaway. And then I think they're some of the people to come back here with. So we're just going to
do our little loop. If you got to loop around somewhere, I mean, Tetons is probably like the most epic place to do it.
Tetons and Yellowstone is a pretty good spot to do it, yeah. So we're thinking about going to the other side. There's a dry camping spot at a ski lodge where you can take a chairlift up 2,000 feet and get a different view of the Tetons. I think it's going to be cool. And then where we might meet up with Nathan and Marissa is at Craters of the Moon. That's one of our stops that we want to go to. We actually want to camp there. I've said it the last 2 times we drive by there, I want to camp there. This time I think we're going to camp there as long as we can get in. I would love to do some night photography, you know, in that area. I think it'll be awesome.
That was another really quick stop where we just stopped for a day and left the RV attached, because you can drive through that park with the RV attached. So we did all of the lava tubes and the caves and all that stuff just driving through. So we're gonna take a little longer this time and get some night photography. You've
probably been seeing up to this point a bunch of dash cam footage. So we finally got a dash cam on our trip out here. I don't know why I didn't have it before. It makes sense for us anyway since we're filming.
Right.
But it also makes sense in case something happens, you know, to protect yourself. We just essentially got lucky because we haven't gotten into any accidents or anything like that. But there's been so many times, if you are an RVer, you know what some people do to cut in front of you.
Yeah.
We have a dash cam. I've really liked it.
Do you guys travel with a dash cam? And if so, do you have front and back recording? Because right now we only have like the front camera.
I wanted to, you know, kind of dip my toes in the water to see what I like, and I think I'm willing to upgrade the camera to something that maybe has more stabilization, because it has a time-lapse function, but it's a little jittery and maybe a little bit better night vision. But this is a Vantrue. I got it on Prime Day, so it was a good time to like try it out. I just wanted to see if it was going to clutter up our dash too much, clutter up our windshield too much.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. It's so small, so I can highly recommend it. But I'm only thinking of upgrading it now that I've seen the video potential of adding it to, you know, what we do.
Right.
So if you don't do what we do and you just need a front-facing camera, this thing is really tiny. Well. It's smaller than a GoPro.
It's got an app to the phone, so I can like download footage immediately from the phone. It's pretty great.
Yeah, it's easy. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody's like, why don't you just put a GoPro? This thing just loops recording all the time. If there's a section you want, you just hit the button and it saves that section. It won't delete. Anyways, everybody knows about dash cams. I'm just new to it.
Super distracted as you're talking about dash cams.
Oh yeah, the Tetons. Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm gonna hit this again. So while we're talking, when you're not looking at my face the whole time, because the Tetons, I can assure you, are way better. Hit that meaning like I'm gonna save this drive scene of us talking on the dash cam. I mean, you know, we like this place. This has been our current avatar for all social media. A photo of us and the rig that we finally redid it to, what was it?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, but the exact same photo.
Yeah.
Because we recreated it. That's how much this means to us. It's been it's the RV and mountains, you know, the wild. That's just what we...
I'm glad you said photo. I thought you were going to say heart, and I was like, the heart of our brand. Really?
It's the heart of our brand.
No. But
Finding
this
our
is
Tetons.
finding our Tetons. Now this is inspiring. Who doesn't like some inspiration?
Second pass of the day. You ready?
10%.
That's a serious
We are
grade.
going kind of straight up.
Yeah.
We've never gone this way, and I can see like we have to go right there. That's way up there.
Yeah. In a short distance. Feels like a challenge.
10% is a lot different than 6%.
Yeah.
And that's usually what mountain passes are, is 6%. I don't know, is this too loud?
Might be.
What's different about this pass coming up from Jackson is there's no passing lanes.
Yeah, that is
So
weird.
usually it'll go to a double line, you know, when you're going up, so people have a chance to pass.
Not so.
Not the case here. Now I could probably go a bit faster, but
How fast
this
are
old
you going?
girl's at the age where
This old girl. He's
don't
talking
want
about
to
the truck,
abuse her.
not me.
There's nothing wrong with the engine, but what happens with these things is the DPF gets clogged, and you simply do not have as much power as these things age.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with the engine, it's simply the emission system that gets clogged up. So it just doesn't breathe quite as good. So I don't want to push it.
Right.
And we're going 40,
Yeah.
and I think that's it's about what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
So,
There's not a lot. There's not
well,
like
there's
a
so
long
many
line behind
curves
us.
on this road, so
Yeah, you're not flying.
yeah,
That's for
and
sure.
I have to slow down right now, going uphill. I'm pretty sure this is the top.
Yeah, it's really quick. So like you said before,
Yeah.
that's the difference with this. The grade is super steep, but it's really quick. I think you've done it, honey.
Yeah,
This is coming up to the
the
end.
top.
Leave it all for somebody else to help themselves. Leave their troubles